Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday night call that we do every Thursday night. I am here with Emerald Ambassador Shannon McCumber.
Hello, everybody.
And my name is Jana Garcia, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus. And we are going to start our weekly call. I just started recording. And so if you guys, throughout the time of the call, if you have questions, put them in the chat box, and we'll try to get to those in between or at the end if we have time. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are talking about finding the holes in your business. And in other words, we are talking about when you want to get further in your business than you are right now, which most of us do, there's got to be things that you're doing or not doing that's holding you back. And so we're going to try to find those holes tonight. And we are going to start with setting goals. So that one's mine. So the first thing that you have to do about setting goals, and I love talking to brand new ambassadors about this, because I think when you have a brand new ambassador, the first thing you need to do is find out what their goals are. And to be able to lead them in a conversation about their goals, you need to first ask them what their why is. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but we always talk about what is your why. At this point, when somebody just starts, their why may be just paying for their products. Their why may be just they want to lose weight, or maybe they want to get healthy, whatever that why is for them. They need to have that written down. And so to get to that place, so like say somebody says they want to get their products for free, or say somebody says they want to get $500 extra a month. At that point, you need to ask them, okay, then we need to set some realistic goals for you to get to that place where you want to be. And so what are your goals going to be? We need to figure out a system for how many customers do you need to get to $500 a month, or how many customers do you need to get your products for free? So setting those goals is really important, and setting timelines for those goals is really important too. Now, if you miss a timeline or a goal, that's okay. Just lengthen your timeline longer and keep going for it. But setting timelines is really important because it makes you aware. You also need to write those goals down somewhere where you can see them every single day. And so maybe your goal is to get to 500 PV. Maybe your goal is to get 1,000 PV. Maybe your goal is to get 3 new customers, which it should be every single month. You should be trying to get 3 new customers and 3 new ambassadors every single month. And hopefully your customers are preferred. And so a lot of times I think that we haven't talked a lot about preferred and retail customers, but preferred customers can make such a big impact on your paycheck as opposed to retail customers. So I think it's really important to note that, and to make sure that you are talking about preferred all the time to your people. So when you have a new person that's interested in your products, and they ask you what the price is, you can say, you can buy retail, but that's the most expensive way to buy. Hardly anybody ever does that. Or you can buy preferred, and what preferred is that you get it sent to your house every single month on the same day, but you're not locked into that. I always say that right after that, because as soon as you say every month, they're like, no, I want to be retail. You say you're not locked into that. You can change your order anytime. You can change the date. You can change what's in it. You can delete it. You can stop it. You're not even obligated for 1 more month after this one. So it would be really silly for you to not order preferred. And then I always give the prospect, the new customer, the option of me reminding them 5 days before their order goes out if they're willing to do preferred. Because trust me, getting a preferred customer as opposed to a retail is huge, because if they're preferred, they're much more likely to stay on the products. They're much more likely to see better results, because a retail customer will just buy sporadically and they probably won't take the products consistently. So I always tell them, I will send you a reminder. I will message you 5 days, and I'll write it in my calendar. Make sure you write it in your calendar if you're promising them that. And then 5 days before, it gives you the perfect opportunity to troubleshoot what they're taking, figure out if they need to change their order, or they may love their products and they want to become an ambassador at that point. So that's the goal setting strategy for you, is to make sure that you're setting goals, but also when you have a new ambassador join, you need to make sure that they're setting goals right from the beginning, even if they're just 3 customers or 3 new ambassadors, whatever that is, and talk to them. And Shannon's going to talk about time commitments, but at that point is when you say, okay, you want to make $500 a month. What realistically is the amount of time they're going to put for this? And that's what Shannon's going to talk about next. She's going to talk about time.
Before I get into that, I wanted to just kind of add to the goals. And, you know, maybe you're sitting here and you're listening to Jana and she's telling you, okay, you need to set goals for yourself and you need to set goals for your customers and what have you. You know, and maybe you're sitting there thinking, because, I mean, tonight we're talking about finding holes in your business. And so I want to bring up a possible hole that's in your business. Maybe month after month, you're not hitting your goals. Like, you're not even coming close to your goals. Like, maybe you're saying, okay, I want to get 3 new customers. And you've said that for 6 months and you still don't have 3 customers. Okay, that's like futility. I mean, obviously something is not working right. If you are doing your best, working 100% and giving it your all, and you're still not coming up with 3 new customers a month. So what you need to do, you have to look at what you are doing. You can't point the fingers. You can't go, okay, my upline's not training me enough, or I'm not getting this from you, I'm not getting any information from the group. It kind of falls on you to say, okay, let me look at what I'm doing, because obviously what I've done for the last 6 months is not working. So I need to look at whether it's how I approach people, how I try to close the deal with people, how am I talking to people, how do I respond to objections when people tell me, well, it's too much money, or, you know, I just don't have time, or, you know, you guys know the objections when they come in. And so what you have to look at is, okay, something's not working right, so I need to figure out what that is, because that's when you step up and you grow and you start finding things. Because we can read all of the self-development books we can watch YouTube till we're blue in the face from some of the top diamonds in the company or whoever, but that means nothing if you're not applying what you're learning. So it just goes right out the door. You know, and people say, well, how did you get where you are? Well, I say I'm a master duplicator, but the difference is that whatever I read, whatever I listen to, I apply that to my business. I apply it to talking to my team. How to be a good leader, how to be a recruiter, how to be a master salesperson. And those are all things that I'm continually working on and seeking to find out how I can do better. So look at yourself and see what you're doing and say, well, what can I change? And if you're not sure, go to your upline and say, can you please look at my stuff and tell me what I'm doing wrong? Because I am an open book and I want to make this happen. I want to make this work. So whatever I got to do to change, I'm going to do it. And that starts with being coachable. So you can't get your feelings hurt when your upline says, well, your approach is a little off, so you got to change that. Don't get your feelings hurt and don't get your ego up. You just got to say, okay, then I'm going to do that. Because if you want to get to the top and you want to learn, you got to check your ego at the door and say, you know what, I'm on it. Let's do this. Whatever it takes, I'm willing to do it. So sorry, I just want to add that to that. Okay, now we're going to move on to time commitments when it comes to your business. You know, because sometimes when people join the business, they say, well, you know, I don't really have the time to work my business. I really don't have time. I want to be an emerald, but I've only got 10 minutes a day to get there. Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you, if you only got 10 minutes a day to get to emerald, you're not going to get there. I'm just going to be honest and tell you. Well, I'm not going to say you're not going to get there. It's just going to take you a while to get there with only 10 minutes a day. And that's the good thing about this business, is that you can work it as much or as little as you want. But if you truly want to get to jewel status, it's going to take work every day, some amount of time, consistent every single day. So what I want to tell you is how to figure out what times and what's going to work best for you. So what you have to do is look logically at your schedule. You have to write it down. Write down your schedule for the day from the time you get up, and write down every single thing. Okay, this is the time that I get up. This is the time that I drink my coffee. This is the time that I go shower. This is the time I'm with my kids. This is when I'm at work. This is when I take a break. This is when I come home. This is when I'm cooking dinner. This is when we have bedtime. This is when I work my Plexus business. This is when I have time with my husband. I literally have my schedule written out and I have it on my desk so that I can hold myself accountable to that. Because if I don't, then I tend to get a little crazy and drop the ball and forget things. And I don't want to do that. I want to be consistent with my time. I want to make sure that I'm intentional with my time. So whatever time I do have, I'm being intentional with that. Being there for my kids when I'm supposed to be there with my kids. Being there for my husband when I'm supposed to be spending time with him. Working my Plexus business when I'm supposed to be working my Plexus business and not scrolling Facebook or scrolling decorskills.com because there's something pretty on there. That's just not, you have to be intentional with your time. And so really look at your schedule and you say, okay, well, I've got 15 minutes here and I've got 30 minutes here. If that's what you have to do to work your business, then be intentional, mark off that 15 minutes for the day and say, okay, during this 15 minutes, I'm gonna work on customer follow-ups, or I'm gonna work on writing down what my posts are going to be for Monday through Friday next week. That way you actually have a plan and you can hold yourself accountable to it, because when I write down in my planner on the days that what product I'm gonna talk about, I usually don't plan out what my personal post for the day is gonna be, because I like that to be kind of off the cuff and off the fly. Like today, for instance, I was scrolling through Instagram and I found a picture of something that says, you should hug someone until they fart because it makes them feel good about themselves, makes you feel strong. And I thought it was hilarious. And I posted it, and everybody that commented or liked it, I know you have sick humor just like I do, because I thought it was hilarious. But that's it. You just gotta be off the cuff and don't act like just because you have a Plexus business, you can't be funny. Because I'm gonna be funny and I'm gonna be me, regardless of whether I have a Plexus business. Because if I don't, then people are gonna be like, well, you're not being you, because the real Shannon would be cracking up jokes about farts. And that's just who I am, and that's okay. That's okay to be you. So anyways, back to timelines. So write down, and if you have to get up 15 minutes earlier, then get up 15 minutes earlier. Because I'm telling you, if you want to earn a trip to Hawaii, or you want to be sitting your rear end in a Plexus Lexus next year, I'd commit to getting up 15 minutes earlier in the morning, or 30 minutes earlier in the morning. You know, and if you got to put a picture or something up, or you got to put something on your alarm that says, I want a trip to Hawaii. So when you look at it at 6 a.m. and you're like, I don't want to get up. Oh, yes, I do. I want that trip. You get up out of bed because you want to get to Hawaii. And we want you to get to Hawaii with us. So we want you there. So really look at your schedule and plan that out and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to block out 15 minutes. I'm going to block out 30 minutes. And this is what I'm going to do during those times. That way you're set and you're prepared and you're being intentional with the time that you have every single day. All right, now I'm going to turn it back to Jana, and she's going to talk about posting with intention. All right.
Okay, that was awesome. One thing I do want to add to that is that when you're training a new ambassador, like what I was saying at the beginning, and you're asking them their goals, when you're talking to them about time commitment, it's a really great time when they're excited and when they're telling you their why and their goals and what they want to make, for you to say, okay, Kelly, can I hold you accountable to that? Because I want to see you get your why. And so if you're willing to make this time commitment, can I check in on you and ask you what you're doing and bring you back if you wander away? And if they give you that permission, there you go. You've got it. You don't have to worry about pressuring them anymore. And you just, when you do, you remind them of their why and say, look, you know, you told me you wanted this, and I'm reminding you it's worth it. You just have to put forth that time commitment we talked about. Mm-hmm. So posting with intention is something that we've learned along the way is super important to attract people to you. And so you want to attract all kinds of people, not just a certain kind of people. So that's what you got to think about. That's what we're going to talk about in a minute. We're going to talk about the 4 color personalities. Now, I just say I could do a whole hour, 2-hour call on the 4 color personalities, because it's actually one of my favorite topics to talk about, and I think about it all the time. So I think it's amazing in our network marketing business to learn the 4-color personalities. And somebody can post in the comments what book we're talking about in case you've never read it. But it's a really good book. It's short, it's funny, and it's a fast read, but it will tell you a lot about people, not just in your business, but also in life in general, about the different personalities. But posting at regular times during the day, at certain times where Facebook traffic is higher. In the morning around 7:30 is a really high traffic time. If you post during that time, the afternoon when people are sitting in the car rider line, anytime between like 2 and 4. And then the evening time when people are done with dinner and they're back to their computer, that's a good time to post too. Now you want to make sure that you're posting regularly on your Facebook wall about Plexus. If I go to your Facebook wall, I should not have to scroll down very far at all to see that you're passionate about Plexus and the products. You don't even have to mention the products. You could just say, look, I'm so, thankful that I have my products today because I had people know what you do. If you're talking about Plexus enough, people know what you do. You don't have to mention it all the time. You can just talk about how great you feel, and you're attracting people to your business. And so posting your personal stuff too, like Shannon said, is really important, but keeping a good balance of it so that you can attract people. People are following you. They might not even think that they want what you have yet, but if they see you and they like you, they're going to want to do what you do. So that's important. So right now we're going to do before I say that, I want to also say that make sure your posts are compliant. It's really important to protect our company, and we really have to make sure that we are not posting things that are not listed on our website or in our catalog. We need to make sure we're not listing, talking about diseases or anything that is some kind of ailment to where you have to describe it in a way that's not in the catalog or on the company website, because we are on the map now as far as network marketing companies, and because of our fast growth, we have a lot of FTC and government agencies that are watching our stuff. So the last thing we want to do is be shut down because of something somebody says. And so mentioning cancer, mentioning diabetes, mentioning
fibromyalgia,
inflammation, anything that you don't see on the website is not compliant. So that's really important.
But don't let that hinder you from posting.
Don't let it scare you.
Yeah, don't be afraid if you're new to be like, I don't want to post something because I don't want to get in trouble. You're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure, just reach out to your upline and say, okay, I found something that I want to post. Yeah. Is this okay? And it's okay to ask. That's what we're here for. That's what the team groups are here for, to go in there if you're not sure and say, hey, is this compliant to post or not? Because more than anything we do, when we put information out there, we want it to be correct, because we sure don't want somebody to turn around and say, did you see what they posted? That is so not correct and so not true, because, our word is our bond. And so what we're putting out there, and whatever your brand is that you're creating for yourself, you want to be able to stand behind that completely, 100%. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah,
always ask. And, I find that if you just use common sense, that most of the time that will tell you exactly if you have a question about it when you're posting it, it's probably not a good thing. And if there is a real good question, just ask it, like Shannon said. If you ask in the Rockin' group or in Shannon's group, if you're in that group, somebody will answer you. If they don't, I will. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a LARP.
LARP!
Tell them what a LARP is.
Role play. We know it's y'all's favorites.
So we're going to have a little exaggerated 4-color personalities LARP. And don't take offense to it if you're one of these colors. We're very much exaggerating, just fun, and so we can get our point across. So what I'm going to do is I'm talking to Shannon. She's maybe a customer or maybe a prospect, or maybe she's one of my ambassadors, and I'm trying to figure out what color she is. And after we do this, I'm going to tell you what you can do with those colors. So the first one, your name is Shay.
I'm Shay. Oh, okay.
Okay,
and,
Shay.
And I just get to pick whatever color I want first, and
yeah, because I got to figure out what your color is.
Okay.
Okay, Shay.
Okay.
Tell me about your personality. What kind of things do you like, and like what drives you to get up every morning? What kind of things? Just kind of give me an idea.
Well, what drives me on Monday morning is Friday nights. I am so ready for Fridays already, Monday morning. I'm ready for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And my girls, we like to go out and have a good time. And we like to plan trips to Las Vegas, and we really want to go to Hawaii, but it's so expensive, and we really don't like to really work a whole lot. We really just like to have a party and have fun and just, hang out and check out guys and, fun stuff.
Shay, you are so blue.
Blue? Me?
Blue. Okay, so what the blue color personality is fun, excitement, travel, and that person, they get energy from being around other people. Like these are the type of people that they will take a 4-year-old to Walmart instead of going by themselves because they cannot stand being by themselves.
Right.
Okay, so they get energy from other people. Now, a blue personality can really do this business. I have several jewels on my team that are blue. And they can do it because, you know what, they're fun. Everybody wants to be around them.
Yes.
Everybody's attracted to them. So you need to make sure that some of your posts are blue, even if you're not blue. Make sure some of your posts are blue. If you've got a blue ambassador on your team or a blue customer, make sure you're telling them about the fun stuff with Plexus, because if you talk to them about all of our reports and our back office and how great our compensation plan is, they don't care unless they're going to go to Hawaii or unless they're going to go to Vegas or have fun with the local people. Whatever that is, make sure you're talking to them in their blue personality to attract them to your company.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to figure out somebody's personality by asking them what kind of things they like and what drives them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now we're going to go on.
You can reply to them and say, hey, well, you know that with Plexus, it's possible for you to earn a free trip to Hawaii. And it's also possible for you to earn a Lexus that you could drive on Friday nights to go out with all your friends. And put all your girls in one car. Hey, turn the radio on.
And what I say to blue people is I say, you know what, our team locally, I love getting together with people and we have so much fun together. That's what I say to a blue person if they're local. If they're not local, I'll say, oh my gosh, I've got ambassadors all over the world and we get to see each other at convention and at neat things that we go to all the time. I've never thought I would have so many friends.
Right.
Stuff like that. Okay, so our next person is Shay.
Oh, I'm like, I thought I was looking forward to a different name.
Oh, no, that's...
I thought it was going to be 4 different personalities.
Shay's blue. We're now to Shanda.
Shanda. Okay, Shanda. Okay. And what was the question again?
Oh, tell me about your personality. What kind of things do you like and what drives you?
Well, at my job, I'm a CPA. And so I really like to crunch numbers. I really like to see clinical studies about things. So, if I try a product or something like that, if people want me to try it, I really like to see ingredients because I want to research whatever I'm going to put in my body and check it out. And so, that's kind of me in a nutshell. Excel spreadsheets, I'm all up in that.
Okay, Shanda, you are totally green.
And I really am. Most people think I'm a blue, but I'm not. I'm a green.
She's green.
Dana will tell you I am not a party person.
Right. She's not. And this is what's really strange because Shannon is the life of the party when she's around people, but she's done by 10 o'clock. She's done. Right. She's exhausted and it has drained all of her energy out. She has this much blue. And when she's blue, she's on the tables dancing. But then she's done. She's done.
And then I leave and I go, bye. And everybody's like, what? I'm like, no, I'm good.
She does all the time. I'm like, we're just starting to have fun. Where are you going? So the green personality really thrives on reports and manuals and comp plans. And you hand a green person a manual it's just like you gave them $1,000. And they are just like coveting that thing going, oh, I'm going to just read every word. And so if you meet a green person, you attract them to the business by saying what a great comp plan we have that they can research the heck out of. and that they can go run Excel reports, and that, that the green person is very analytical. So you can talk to them about researching the products and how great they can be at being a product guru and stuff like that. So the green person can really thrive in our business, but you just really need to post some green posts sometimes, and just tell people that are green that they can do this business too. I mean, Shannon's an emerald and she's green. So I know a lot of jewels that are green. So you can definitely do this if you're green, as long as you can understand the other personalities.
And what you also have to remember as a green, you cannot send, and I'm telling you this as a green to a green, if you're green out there, you cannot over talk. When you're sending information to new people, unless they're another green. If you're talking to another green, then yes, be green. Be all green, all up in there. But if you're talking to a yellow or a blue or a red, now the reds you can get pretty green with, because they like business, they like numbers, and I don't want to get in too much into that right now, but if you're talking to a blue does not want to hear you go on about clinical studies. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear how much fun they're going to have if they join your team, or if they take products, or how much more energy it's going to give them to have a party on Friday night. So be careful about how much information you send all at once. Don't puke up green all over them. Don't do that.
Right. Okay, so our next color is Shanae.
Shanae. Okay.
Okay, Shanae. Tell me what personality you have, what kind of things you like, and what drives you.
Listen, Jana, I like to go to the bank every Friday, and I want to cash a big fat check. So I want to know the bottom line, what I got to do to get there, how much I got to spend, but really I want to know my rate of return. How much am I going to get if I pay you your $34.95? What's going to be my return on that? Tell me that.
Yeah, and that's red. Shanae is definitely red. And Shanae is going to want to know, how much time am I going to have to put in this? Because usually reds are already successful at something else. And if you can't lure a red in enough, they're not going to think it's worth their time. They're not going to think it's worth their time. You have to show them that it can be worth their time if they do the things that we train them to do. Red people are all about success. They're all about recognition. They're all about money. So when you talk to a red person, you can tell them, look, this is what we have. This is our comp plan. We have an amazing comp plan. We can show you how to fit this business into your day, your already busy day. I know you're super successful. And the reason why you would be so great at this is because you are already successful at what you're doing. Give that recognition to them. Show them that you think they are already successful. Maybe they're the head of the PTA, whatever that is that they're successful at. Tell them they're successful if they're red. That's what they want to hear. And so you need to really, red people, it's good and bad. I mean, I will say probably most of the diamonds are red, but there's a lot of red people that don't ever make it to diamond because they don't stick it out long enough because they don't think it's worth it. So you have to show a red person how it's worth it to get them on board 100%. You get a red person on board 100% with Plexus, just step out of the way, because they're going to do it with or without you.
Yep.
And so I'm red, and a lot of people don't really understand what color they are, and everyone, nobody likes to put a color on themselves. Most people want to say, oh, I'm a rainbow, I'm a unicorn. No, you we hate to hear that. Okay, you are not a rainbow, okay? You are a color. One color will drive you the most. Everyone has a little bit of every color. Like I said, Shannon is the bluest person at a party, but she's not driven by that. She's driven with green. She likes
I'm also red.
Yes.
I want to know bottom line. Jana will tell you, I did not get into this until I saw the potential for money.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
and that's a huge part of what we will train on. We need to do a 4-color personality training call, but finding your red is huge. It's so important. Finding every color in your personality and learning how to work that towards the people who are like that, so that you can gain more ground with those people, is huge. But there will be one color that drives you. Okay, if it's red, then you are going to be all about the bottom line. Success and what your paycheck's going to be and how much time do you have to put in to make that paycheck. Okay, So our last color is Sheila.
Sheila. Okay.
Sheila, tell me about your personality, the things you like, and what drives you.
Well, what I do right now is that I'm a caregiver for my granddad. He has Alzheimer's, and so I spend a lot of time caring for him. And then on the weekends, I work with our charity that helps blind children on the weekends. And then on Sundays, I spend ministry time with other people, giving back to people in our church. And that's really where my heart is working and serving other people and making sure their needs are met all the time.
Okay, Sheila, you are definitely yellow. So yellow personalities is somebody who gives and gives and gives and usually puts themselves last. It's really easy to spot a yellow personality because usually they're the one that's getting taken advantage of sometimes. They have big hearts. Sometimes they're teachers or nurses, and they just care about other people and making other people happy. Okay. Yellow people can definitely succeed with Plexus. I have lots of yellow people on our team as Jules and Diamond. And I would venture to say, Shannon, I don't know if you agree with this, but I would venture to say that probably most Plexus ambassadors are yellow. Like
I have a lot of yellows on my team. A whole lot of yellows.
Yeah. So
I love my yellows.
Because a lot of people get into this business to help other people, I think that's what kind of draws yellow people to our business, because they see that we help other people and they want to help other people. And so I think that that's a big part of it. But the yellow person has to really be careful to not let that hinder their growth. Mm-hmm. So that's why we say you have to find your red. You have to find every color so that you can, how are you going to have a goal to get to diamond? How are you going to have a PV goal if all you're worried about is other people? You have to find that in yourself, what your goal is. And a yellow person really needs to write down their goals and what they're wanting to make, their income, so that they can find their red and figure out how they can use all that talent that they have in their yellow big heart personalities to make it work for them. So I think that's the biggest struggle with a yellow person, is that they don't know how to use that to be more ambitious.
That, and also yellows struggle with their yellows. I'm not going to say this every yellow, but lots of yellows have lots strong emotions. They can be very sensitive to things. And so people telling them no, I don't want to try your products. No, I don't want to join your team. They take that to heart, because their heart in all of it is to serve people. And when they have something that they know that really helps people, and they can't get other people to see that, to feel that, that's hard. And so they sit back because they get a no, or they get a I don't want to, and it strikes them like right in the heart, because they're like, I just want to help you so much. I don't want your money. If I could give it to you for free, I would give you a whole triplex for free. That is a yellow. And when somebody tells them no, it's like a knife in the heart. So yellows, I want to encourage you to grow a little bit of a thick skin around your heart when it comes to talking to people. It's okay. No's are okay. It's okay to get a no. And we have to learn that sometimes we have to take emotions out of the equation. And my team will tell you, I'm sure they all will be like, yeah, amen, is that I take emotions completely out of it. And I say, okay, now you've got to look at this without emotion. You have to address this like you're running a business, because you are indeed running a business. And while I want your heart to be in it, and how you treat people and how you serve people, you do have to be okay with taking that no sometimes, and how you deal with other ambassadors in the business. Just because somebody does something and it hurts your feelings, you can't let that stop you from growing your business. You have to say, bless and release, let them go, move forward, and grow your own business. And don't worry about what everybody else is doing. It's okay. Yellows, it's okay.
Yeah, that seriously is a big problem with people in the business in general, forgetting that it's a business. And so when you are in a situation where you feel like your feelings are hurt, or you feel like, we sponsor our friends. So there's so many times where there's things that happen, or if you get rejected by somebody, you need to think at that moment, okay, I am a CEO of my own company. If I was a CEO of a big corporation, would this really be hurting my feelings?
Right.
No, because this is a business, and this is not my personal life. This is my business.
Right.
And so I think if a yellow person really takes that to heart and really realizes this is a business and separates that, they can do so much better.
Yes, absolutely. Because yellows, that's why they do so good in this business, because if you read posts from yellows, I mean, to me, that's how you run a business like this. Is you're raw, you're transparent, you're there to serve people. You know, your job is to be number one at being number two. You should be serving people day in and day out. And that's what yellows do. So, you know, if you have trouble like me, I have a team of yellow people. So I've had to learn to sit back and see how they see things, how they look at things. And I've got to, and it's taught me that I have to be a little more ginger with my words and how I talk to people and how I say things, because I'm very cut and dry. I don't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm just going to say it like it is. So I've had to kind of change that up. But I have leaders that come to me and say, Shannon, you got to pull it back, especially my yellow leaders. And I have several. And they're like, Shannon, you got to tone that back a little bit, because you're so cut and dry. You got to kind of, and so I've learned even really just over the last year, how to be more aware of the words that come out of my mouth and how I say things. So, yeah. Okay.
That is it on that. And the next one is strengths, and we're already at 8:39. So we're going to do.
I got 20 minutes.
We're supposed to keep this 30 minutes.
Right. All right. This is the last one. And this is really one of my favorite things when it comes to talking about the business and finding holes in your business, because a lot of times we get into Plexus and we jump right into the business and we try to start, doing things, and things aren't working out. But a lot of times we don't sit back and we say, okay, I've been in the business for 6 months. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about a little earlier. We need to sit down and not only look at the time that we have available, but to also make a list of our strengths and our struggles. You need to sit down and write down, okay, this is what I think my strengths are in the business. This is what I think I'm good at. I really think I'm good at this. And then you write down, these are my struggles. This is where I struggle in the business. Maybe you struggle with assigning ambassadors. Maybe you struggle with how you present the products to people. But it's okay to be real and to be relevant with yourself and to write those things and truly be honest. Don't say, I'm so good at recruiting and you've only recruited one person in 6 months. You're not a good recruiter if you've recruited one person in 6 months. So that would be a struggle. You would write that down on a struggle. Just like when I write down my struggles, like one of the things I struggle with is how I talk to people, and that I cannot be as direct as I want to be, that I have to tone that back. And I have seen a change in my business and how I handle things, because I sit back and I listen more to what people are saying, because I'm trying to decide what color they are, if they're blue, if they're yellow, if they're green, if they're red, because I want to pick up cues and I'm going to lead them in a conversation that tells me more about them. Like, hey, it's so nice to meet you here. What brings you, if I'm standing in line at a hotel checking in, I'm going to make a decision about the person standing next to me on whether they would be a good fit for my team based on a 5-minute conversation that I'm having with them. And I know some people are like, well, how do you do that? Well, if I'm standing next to somebody and I see a painting on the wall, right? And we're standing in line, we're waiting, and I say, okay, I'm standing next to this gentleman, okay? And I say, isn't that the coolest painting that you've ever seen? And if he replies back and he says, you know what, I hadn't noticed it, but I just looked at it and you're right, it really is kind of cool, isn't it? I immediately know, number one, that guy's not afraid to talk to strangers. He will talk to somebody in a line that he doesn't know, and he will acknowledge that there's something out there and carry on a conversation and be friendly. Now, if that same person responds to me or just does not respond to me at all, I check them off right there because I'm like, I want somebody that's going to be friendly and cordial and talk to people, because that's somebody that's going to have a circle of influence because they are willing to step out and talk to people. Because if they're willing to talk to a stranger, imagine the influence they have on their circle of friends, because you can almost guarantee that they have an influence, a huge influence with the people that they have close to them, because they're willing to talk to me, a stranger, then they're definitely going to be willing to talk to their inner circle. So just something to think about when you're out and about and talking to people is how you engage people and how they respond to you. There's no sense in spending 20 minutes trying to get somebody if they're trying to ignore you for the whole 20 minutes and they're not interested at all. So write down your strengths. Those are things that you're already good at. So capitalize on those things in your business. Focus on those things in your business. Your weaknesses or your struggles, write those down. And if you're not sure how to grow those struggles, then get with your upline and say, look, here's a list of my struggles. This is what I feel like I'm currently struggling with. What can I do to rectify this? What can I do to make this better? Because I truly want to be great at this business, and I'm willing to be coachable on whatever you tell me to do. So that's up to you. You can't sit back and complain that you have low PV for 6 months if you've never once reached out to your upline and said, can you help me? Because I'm not sure what to do. So if you want help and you want success and you want to make $1,000 a month and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there, then you've got to step up and you got to say, hey, I need some coaching. And I guarantee somebody in your upline will give you some coaching. I can tell you, if you're on my team right now and your upline is not giving you coaching, you message me tonight and we will get you some coaching. I will find somebody coaching. If you don't have anybody between us, then I will do it myself. So that's how I roll. All right. And that's what I have for strengths and struggles. So.
Okay. Well, I want to say something really quick about that. If you're struggling, the first thing you need to do, like Shannon said, is, go to your upline, figure it out, write it down. But always think about your beliefs, because your belief is going to be what holds you back.
Right.
Either you're not believing in the company, the products, the industry, or yourself. And all 4 of those things are very important for you to believe in. If you lack belief in those areas, that's what you have to work on. And there's a very simple cure for lack of belief in any of those things. And those are getting involved in events, whether that's these team calls, convention, which is so important, local events, getting together. What I'm doing here tonight, what I decided to do, if I can, every week when we're doing these calls, I'm opening up my home for my local people to come over. We're going to do some training before the call. We're going to all bring something to eat for dinner, and we're going to all have a great time. So that way new people can come, leaders can come. Tonight, 2 people came to my house and we had dinner together. We watched a video. And if you don't have anybody in your area to do that with, start your own. And that way you'll have somebody, someplace to invite people to. But those kind of things are so important. Events are what will build your belief. When you go to opportunity events, you're going to hear all about the products and testimonies. That will build your belief in the products. You're going to hear business testimonies. That's going to give you belief in the company and the comp plan. And obviously it'll give you belief in the industry. And the self-growth that you do will be your belief system in yourself. Your affirmations, saying that you can do this, all the great things that you tell yourself every day is so important in belief in yourself. There is no reason why everyone on this call cannot do this if we can. There are so many different personalities in network marketing that have done this and have gotten to the top of their companies. There is no reason why everyone else can't. It's your belief, whether you can or not, is what's going to make or break the deal. And so go to the events, register for convention, go to the calls, and connect with other people. That is so important when you're struggling. You need to be connected with other people that have the same passion and belief that you do and the same goals that you do. So you've got to do that. And if you're a leader of one person or you're a diamond, you need to be taking care of your tribe. Your person, your 1 person, your 20 people, your 200 people, are you invested in them? Are you inviting them to calls? Are you making sure that they're personally invited to things that you're doing? I see so many leaders drop the ball. I see so many leaders that are silver and they're gold, and I never see them connecting with their team. It's like they just drop the ball and they act like they just started themselves. It's like, you have to take care of your team. You have to connect them to other Plexus ambassadors. You have to invite them to events. You have to make sure they get there. And that is so important. You have to take care of your tribe.
Mm-hmm. And, so, I just wanted to put in there, I did a test the other day, and it talks about your personality and what drives you, and dutifulness was mine that drives my personality, that I feel like I have a duty to do things. And I can tell you right now that I take it very personal when I know I have a team of 2,700 people. That's what drives me, because I feel like I have a duty to serve those people. And if there's somebody that's not getting what they need, and when I say I feel like it, like, if I feel personally responsible if someone does not succeed and they want the business, and I haven't done anything to help them, I get upset about it. I take it very personal, and it would bode well for every person on this call, whether you have one person, you have 3 people, you have 100 people under you, whether they are active or inactive, have 10 PV, have 500 PV. It's your job as their upline to check in on them. It's your job to make sure that they are provided for. Just like our Heavenly Father provides for us, it's your job as an ambassador to take care of your people. That's how I see it, and I take it very personal. And I take it very personal when I see somebody not taking care of their people, because I want to say, you're not doing your job, you're shirking it. You need to step up and start towing the line, because your people need you. If you're collecting a check, then you should be doing the job, because your people need you. I don't know, I probably stepped on somebody's toes on this call, but apparently they needed it.
Well, it will make or break you. It will make or break you, because there's a lot of people that need that. Most people do need that. It's very rare to find a self-motivated person that's going to do everything with or without you. I have maybe a handful of those kind of people on my team. There's not that many. Most people won't. Most people need that cheerleading. They need that prodding, especially at first before they're making a good paycheck. They need you to tell them when the calls are. They need you to personally invite them to stuff. They need that. Otherwise, they're not going to succeed. So anyway, that is the end of our call, but I'm going to go ahead and announce the, shall I take the recording off? Shall I take the recording off?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take the recording off so we can stop it.